What's up, guys? Hold on a sec. Okay, sorry about that. What's up, guys? Dragonus Prime coming back at you from my dungeon, and I got another video for you today. As you saw in the thumbnail, I drew Starfield. So, without further ado, let's stop dragging this on, and let's jump into the drawing.
Grab jump is ready. I love this part.
I am a huge science fiction, space exploration nerd, and I've been so excited for this game since I first heard about it. I'm a huge Bethesda fan as well. I've played the Fallout games, I've played the Elder Scrolls games, and the fact that this is going to be a new IP in space with that same type of gameplay, sign me up right away. So I had to do my part, and I had to immortalize the game that's probably going to break records left and right in my way. So I sat down and I decided to start drawing this. As you saw at the beginning, I was working out some poses. I was trying to get a little overly dramatic with some of those poses until I finally came down with something that I felt very dramatic, very strong, but very reserved, and it felt very, very pulp sci-fi too, which is a lot of what this game is. So I started with my usual breaking down the line work, and then now as you see, I'm fine-tuning the black lines in there for the outlines on him. It's I'm stealing some of a bit of a technique that I learned from watching Popcross Studios. If you guys haven't seen his videos, check him out. He's a really good artist. His technique's a bit better than mine, but as you saw, I had those blue outlines, and then I did purple outlines, and then really fine-tuned it on top of that. With Vasco here, I just jumped into it. Vasco was such a technical, intricate-looking character that I couldn't even wrap my head around doing the purple lines thing first. So I just found a bunch of reference images, and I just jumped in on him and just started going wild with it. I was really overwhelmed at first when I started drawing him, but as you see, right here, I started doing it piece by piece, where I just did the arm, and then I ended up merging the layers together. Then I would do just the calves, and I would do little pieces at a time and then merge it with my main layer. That way I could easily erase any lines that might overlap. My ship, I found it really more difficult to draw the ship than I had anticipated, mainly because of how small it was, and there isn't a whole lot of art I found of its underbelly. But I think I did a pretty decent job with it. It's not the focus of the drawing, so I'm not too worried if it's not. That technique there that I did, where I laid out all those big blocks of colors, that helps when I color in. I use what's called a clipping mask, so that way when I color over the lines with my actual colors, I don't have to be as precise, and it won't go out of my lines as well. It'll stay within my character. And I broke it up between, as you see, the main hero and his weapon. I broke those up into two different things. Now, normally, if you see my last videos, I do kind of a cell-shaded coloring, where I'll do a couple shades of black, a couple shades of brights, to give it that real cartoony look. This one here, I decided to experiment more with the brushes that Procreate offers, to try to give it a different look. Plus, this is a different type of genre than those. And so I really found some nice textured brushes that I felt really gave it a nice, really chunk of depth that really filled out the image. So I really started playing with that over and over. As you see, my rocks have that grainy, rocky texture. Here I am coloring in Vasco now, getting Vasco's base colors flattened out and all that. Getting the flats down is, for those who don't color digitally, flats are what are right here. They're just basic colors. There's no shading or anything on top of it. I go back, then you go back through with, at least the way I do it, once I have my flats down, I go back in, and then I'll add in all my other colors and shadings like what I'm doing here with the hero. And I found this really cool textured brush for the hero that kind of almost has a fabric-y, denim-y look to it. Maybe not really denim, but a kind of a fabric texture to it, which I really felt lent itself well to his spacesuit. And I made his suit a little bit of a less brighter, a little more of an offer white, so I could add some nice whites in there when I wanted to add highlights to him. And it's harder to tell, but like the different pieces of him, like the gray on his suit, the red shoulder pads, I used a different texture brush and all that to try to make them look like different materials. It's a little more visible in the actual full-up artwork, but you can kind of see it slightly in this here. Vasco, though, I used pretty much the same type of brush for him because I figured he's metallic all over. He's, well, not really metallic, but his metal body is all going to have a very, very similar texture all over, just different colors and different shade. Not, but I didn't really change the brush up on him. Yeah, and zoomed in close here, you can see on the hero's leg there that fabric-y looking texture I have, which really kind of makes it look like, I don't know, I thought it made it look like that fabric. That's why I put it in there. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to put together, doing these textures and all that. Honestly, just the drawing Vasco was more overwhelming than coloring him. Being a lot of like just hard square and round shapes, it was actually a lot easier to color him than like a person per se. When you look at it that way, persons are just a lot of cylinders and squares and whatnot, but that's what Vasco is nothing but cylinders and squares. So coloring him was a little bit easier than I had thought. Yeah, here I am just kind of finishing up the last bits on Vasco. And then the spaceship, I had to make sure I got the spaceship colored in. It's not a whole lot on there, but that's fine because it doesn't need to be a whole lot. And I kind of faded out to make it a bit lower. Now this here in the video is my planet. I found a really cool tutorial on YouTube on how to make a planet in Procreate like that. I'll link it in the description below, so in case you guys want to check it out as well. It really helped out. And then I decided to add a little bit of like eerie fog or something at the bottom. It really turned out good. And then lastly, that nice glow, because the planet's giving off a blue glow. So I wanted to give everything else a nice blue glow. Oh, and then I almost forgot to texture in my weapon there. So the very last bits there is me finishing up the texture on the weapon. Finishing up some last minute touches. Like you see, I forgot to texture in and shade on the helmet and whatnot. But yeah, this is just all it is here, and I'm really glad you guys checked this out. But I'll stop talking after the last few seconds. So there you have it, guys. There's my drawing. I hope you really like it. I had a lot of fun doing this one. It's probably my favorite one I've done so far. As you see, I added the slogan at the top and the logo at the bottom. I think it really just helps pull the piece together. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you have any other things you'd like to see me draw, video game characters or comic book characters, what have you, let me know. I'd love to interact with you guys down there. And let me know if you're excited for Starfield. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That really helps get my videos out there, and it really just helps me out in general. Otherwise, so yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for checking me out, and we'll see you in the funny pages.